And we don't need to turn to many masters to get a thought for this, other than Master John, who said, and I think probably more relevant today than ever needed. And Master John, just so you know, is one of the sponsor masters of this retreat. He has many responsibilities, I'm sure, throughout the world. But this one had their soul as the disciple John, very close to Jesus. And he, through Flower, brought this message to us here at Questhaven by saying, "Now, even more than before, let the light of your living be true. Protect and be active in those ways of devotion and of steadfast earnestness that relate you to spirit. The spiritual is the rock of salvation. Never desert it, never leave it, not even for the space of a few hours." We are learning how to harmonize ourselves with the spirit of this message. Let the light of your living be true. Look for your experiences. Don't just trust the emotional world trying to tell you what's going on. Look with your own eyes and be true to what is coming through you intuitively and from your observation. It can be helped by thinking often of God's kingdom, of that peace and light that harmonizes. That's why we go back and forth between the outer world and the inner world, to get back to that peace and harmony that exists in God's kingdom of light. Again, relating to spirit while we are here on earth. And we have to then be true to our convictions. And this is where we have to be strong in what's coming through, be courageous, to speak and share what is coming through. But not at the expense of putting down another. And there is never an excuse for violence. Our minds always want to rationalize all the things we do. We can't allow that. Those kinds of things open a door to darkness, shall we say, rather than light. So we have to let our responses identify with God and God's kingdom and stand tall as a beacon of light with the great ones and our Lord Christ, that they can use us. They can ray out through us. And do not allow darkness to gain a foothold in your thoughts or emotions, creating doubts and fears. Meet it with strength. Command it to leave. Invite Archangel Michael to stand with you. Meet it with strength and truth. And for me, knowing the spiritual is my rock has always been to try to stand in the light, focus on Christ, and allow His light to help me see the world, to help me view it from that higher vantage point, and then to interact with it and to use it. And many of you probably will remember when the riots, particularly, and all the destruction was taking place at the height of that time, I had a need to go to Home Depot, of all places. And so I put on my face mask and was negotiating my cart through these tight orders. And with all those tensions literally happening at the moment in this nation, every person I came across, I started realizing was a different gender, a different age, from a different race, a different culture. I mean, literally, God was taking me on this beautiful rainbow experience in Home Depot. And there, even in that tense moment, I was incredibly lifted by everybody's expression of kindness and trying to also be socially distanced and loving to one another. I didn't find one person grumbling in that moment. I didn't find one negativity, or we were all glad to see each other and help each other as we were going. And in that tiny moment, we were united as Americans. And my hope in this country, from what else I was seeing on TV, was restored at Home Depot. And I was determined to not let the outer world tell me any different. Not at least here, in my little view of the world. Let the light of your living be true.